Hi, it's Chef and Builder Janie Pendleton. We are back in the kitchen because I'm going to teach you how to do my vacuum sealing. Now, the other day I told you that my husband and I went to Big Lots, and inside Big Lots they had a great big grocery cart full of Luna Dune cookies and great whole bunch of the double stuffed golden Oreos, which is one of my favorites besides the pumpkin Oreos. And then my husband's favorite was the Chip Ahoy's here. This is the king size bags, and I got a bunch of these, you see. Well, we all know that when they put them out like that, that means that the due date is almost up. So when you're buying your cookies and you see in the cart, see it says February of 2015. That means they're up right now. But in all honesty, we know that this would probably be good for another 6 months to a year probably before they hardened up in an unopened bag, okay? But we're not going to risk that. We don't have to worry about that. Because what we're going to do is we're going to put our cookies, these are the Luna Dunes, these are the Girl Scout cookies that we just bought off the neighbor girl. We're going to put these into some canning jars, okay? That. And we're going to vacuum seal them. You see that? We're going to vacuum seal them. Now what I've done here, just to show you, is I took these out of the package and I mixed them with a cookie that I thought, even if this had a little bit of a lemon flavor with this lemon, that's fine with me. But my husband did not want me to mix these peanut butter cookies with his Girl Scout samosas that he bought from the neighbor girl. So we're going to keep those separate, okay? You don't want to combine those flavors if that's not what you like. But something like Luna Dunes and the Girl Scout regular cookies right here, the Girl Scout emblem on them, we know they're basically the same flavor. I mean, for the most part. So we can put those together in the same jar. That's fine. And here what we've done is we just put the lemon crescent cookies in with the regular cookies, and that's going to be fine too. I don't care if that picks up a lemon flavor. I'm fine with that. Now, as far as the chocolate chips go, I could probably put a few chocolate chips in here as well, because this will probably be one of the first jars that my husband opens up to eat these. These are his favorite. And then I could put a few chocolate chip cookies in there as well. And he'll just pick up a little bit of a coconut flavor on some of them, but he's fine with that because he likes that flavor. Because I wash the jars in really hot soapy water, and I mean really soapy hot water. Then you want to rinse the soap out of here really, really well. Well, we know that the water isn't sterile. So what you're going to do now is you're going to turn them upside down, and I just turned them upside down here on like a drawing pad like this, or even on a tea towel. Got most of the water out, flipped them back upright, and actually what I did is I put these jars to dry then and to sterilize in a cold oven. I took all the racks out but the bottom rack, and I slid all these in the oven. It held 12 jars. It holds another 6 in my auxiliary oven. But most ovens will hold, you know, between 9 to 12 jars. So what I did then is while the oven was cool and after these were washed and rinsed and drained of most of the water off of them like this on the pad, I put these inside of a cold oven. I didn't turn the oven on yet. Remember, cold glass, cold oven. Then I turned on the oven and I slowly brought the oven up to 225 degrees. Now I have a convection oven, so that circulates the air, but it works the same in a regular oven as well. It's just that with a convection oven, the air in the oven stays more consistent at 225 degrees. So then I turned the oven back off again, all right? And I let these cool down, back down to near room temperature. I mean, they're just barely warm. I mean, they're just a little warmer than the room. Now you can feel your cookies in here loose, just like this right here. Or I find the easiest way to pack them, although they're not the best space-saving way, but the easiest way to pack them is to actually keep them in their package. See that? They're actually still in here in their package. Now I washed and dried all the lids as well. And I washed and dried all the rings. Let them dry out here on a tea towel overnight. Now you got to make sure everything in here is dry or you will get mold. You do not want that. Make sure your jar is dry. And it will be after you turn on that oven from a cold state. Run it at 225 turn the oven back off, and by the time you cool these off, it takes about 4 or 5 hours for these to cool off. You do not want to open the oven door. You don't want to cool these off too fast or you could break your jars. What we do now that these are cooled off is we take, see this right here? These are the Luna Dunes. Keep them in their package. See that right there makes them a lot easier. You have to worry about stacking them all up in there that way. So what we do here now is we're just going to cut the top off here. We just need enough cut off that we've made a hole in this bag. So when we suck the air out of these jars, it'll suck the air out of this bag. Alright, and I did the same thing here with this bag. I just cut that top right off. Sit it down in here just like that right there. Try not to put your hand down in there too much. And then now I've got all my Luna Dunes in here, but now I still have these Girl Scout cookies. I'm going to go ahead. Oop, let go. Static clean on the thing there. Alright, and again I'm going to do the same thing with these right here. I'm just going to slip those down in there just like that right there. And there we go. And if you wanted to, I mean, if you didn't have as many jars, you could probably take some of these out of the package because you can't get another one down in there. You could probably just put some loose cookies down in the side down in here just like that right there. See that? That would be fine. Alright, now we're going to do the same thing here to our Chips Ahoy. Remember, we can do the cookies loose, or we can cut off the top so that way the air will suck out of them, and we can put them in the package. Either way works just fine. Alright, so what we have here is we have packages like this right here. So we can do the exact same thing. We're just going to cut it, the little top off like that, and you can just sit them down in there and they'll stay stacked just like that right there. I mean, you don't even have to cut the whole top off. I mean, there we go. And these are what I'm going to call short stacks. So they'll just stack maybe right on top of each other. Look at that. They sure will. Let's see if we can fit those down in there some other way. You know what? To get more in here, I'm going to have to go ahead and dump these out. A little bit of shake, a little bit of a tap. And these work best for a harder cookie, not so much one of those soft batch cookies. I mean, it'll keep them soft, but these smell so good. Doggy. Piling them in just like that right there. Little taps here and there. And remember, this jar is resealable over and over and over again. So as soon as I open one of these, and you can also put oxygen absorbers in here as well. We're going to continue to fill these up. And that's probably high enough. We're going to do it again with the Oreos. Again, I'm just pulling these out of the oven. And looky, I've got a couple extra of these, so I'm just going to put these in with the samosas, and my husband's fine with that. He can grab a chocolate chip cookie and a samosa. The Oreo cookies that we're going to do. And these don't come pre-packaged like that, so they smell so good. There we go. Just gonna stack these up just like this right here. Are you seeing that right there? I hope so. Only do go up so high at a time with these. should be able to get 4. Then you might have a little bit harder time getting a larger hand down in here, but there we go. So you can get 4 in there. People would get a full package and part of another package here inside this half-gallon jar. These are half-gallon jars. Oh, broken one. I guess I get to eat that. I don't mind either. I do not mind. Yum. You're breaking my heart. I got my milk sitting right here ready for that. This is going to hold more. And Oreos, golden Oreos, pumpkin Oreos. Those would be my absolute all-time favorite. Birthday cake Oreos. Am I making you hungry yet? Are you ready to grab a cookie and a glass of milk with me? There we go. So about 1 3/4 packages of these Oreos. That's how much that held. There you have that one. A couple taps and that settles them down nicely. And again, I probably could have gotten more in here, but this is so much easier to stack and pull a section of these out at a time if you leave them in the plastic. Just remember to cut open the tops of the plastic. That's very important to get the air sucked out of those packages. And those packages and the air in those packages have already reached the due date. You want to start over with that. Then we'll be back and I'll show you how to use the jar vacuum sealer, okay? And this comes in a wide mouth and a regular mouth canning jar sealing top. So we'll be back in just a few minutes. Now, with just a dry paper towel, I'm just going to wipe off the lids of all my jars. That way we don't keep any of them from sealing. Do not use vinegar, do not use any water. You want no moisture inside these jars whatsoever. They must be dry. And as sterile as we can keep them. Okay, and I've got this right here to show you. Now what you want to do when you open one that's already been opened, you can reuse the lid. You just want to kind of take a little bit there and kind of, there we go. This is one we're going to eat up quickly, so this works on pints. Here we go. Okay, so you're going to see that this works on pint jars with regular mouths. It works on any jar with a wide mouth. Okay. And I use the ball lids when I do this. And you won't have to have these, but I do put them with them just because something like cookies is something that you open and close whenever you open and close it. You know, once you open it, you can just sit up in the cabinet like this if you think you'll eat them quickly. You don't have to re-vacuum seal it, or you can vacuum seal this lid over and over and over again. It's just fine. Now what I have here, and I'm going to work quickly here, is I have oxygen absorbers. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up when I'm ready here in just a second. Now when I open these, I'm going to have to work pretty fast here. This. Be gentle. There we go. Remember, that's reusable. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to know that that goes to that. Alright, now I'm just going to put these oxygen absorbers down inside of here. You can just lay them right in there just like that right there. Only takes one per jar. And this will, so they oxidize with the iron and they leave the nitrogen. I'm going to put one in all of these because I need to use these up. Let me stuff them down in there, no big deal. In there. All right, I don't even have to vacuum seal this thing, but I'm going to show you how I do it. Just in here. So I'm going to hurry up and get the lid back on these oxygen absorbers. Wipe that lid off. Stick that on all the way. Burp that. There we go. So it was that lid. There's the light on. that back off. Pop that off like that right there, and looky there. Plus that'll stay on because those are oxygen absorbers. All right, so any one of these rings will work. Put a ring on, and I can store these up in my cabinet, and they are still good. Now let's go on to this next one here. You can see I've got the oxygen absorber in here. These are all clean, but just in case, I'm going to kind of wipe them off. Wipe off that rim. Sorry, I centered my name up with the... Be sure and label these the date and the and what's inside the jar, what kind of cookies or whatever. I know you think you can see them, but sometimes the lemon and the birthday cake Oreos can be the same. So watch that green light right there. Takes a little longer. We're doing a half-gallon jar. There's the green light. Okay. Put that jar. Get that off just like that. Look at that. I can hold it up by its top. That's on there real nice. Now that oxygen absorber that I put in here, plus that vacuum sealing, okay, that's going to keep that good for about 15 to 30 years. I probably won't live long enough to tell you, but my grandkids probably will. But that's long enough to keep some cookies. They'll be gone by then, I'm sure. But I want to tell you, and John will tell you, that I picked these up, all these cookies, all of this that you saw here, except for the Girl Scout cookies. I picked up all of these bags and Chip Ahoy chocolate chips. I picked up all of this. 12, so 12, so 24, 25, 26, 27. So I think 27 packages of cookies that they had in the Big Lots cart that still wasn't on its date yet. I picked up all of these for under $9, okay? Under $9 for all of this because I got 70% off everything that was in that cart. I took every discount that I had and I walked in there and I got out every box of cookie that still was under a due date in the cart and I put them through the line. I just started piling them on the conveyor belt. And I'm gonna have these cookies. You know, I've got the pumpkin ones from last year and they're still delicious. That's all I have left of them. And I said the Luna Dunes, all of these, every time I buy something, you ask me how I store it, this is how I do it. This unit cost me about $20. That's it, $20 on eBay. Just make sure that they have the air plug hose right here. Let's see if I can turn you a little better. Just make sure they have the air plug hose here for the air hose. Okay, that's the most important part, making sure that it has that hole on the machine somewhere. I suggest that in an SHTF situation, a WROL situation, you get some extra hoses in case you clog these. I mean, they're cleanable. You can even sterilize these, by the way, in the dishwasher, top rack. And you get some extra one of these because eventually these little rubber rings right here will give out. Now, I've been told that you can turn these rubber rings upside down and put them in, and they actually work for some people even better on their machines. So it depends on your machine. But either way, these work on Kerr and ball jars. That I do know. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish sealing these up. That oxygen absorber, that's going to help take any oxygen that this vacuum sealer didn't get out of there. It's a guarantee it's going to take it out. And we're just going to keep going like this. Keep checking it. And you don't want to put those on real tight because you want to be able to, if there's any air leaking through here at all, you want to make sure that you get that. And again, don't forget to label them, what they are, and the date that you did this. Now you're going to ask me, what are some of the things that you can vacuum seal? Honey, you can vacuum seal anything from dry beans and rice to flour and sugar, just not powdered sugar or cornstarch, unless, what I found out is if you put like a cupcake liner in the top, then you can probably do it then. Okay? Well, like I said, this lid right here, that didn't work. And that's because that wasn't a ball lid. See, that wasn't a ball lid I had on there. And no matter how many times I tried it, for some reason, the thickness or something on there, it just didn't work. It's a ball jar. No, I'm sorry, that's a Golden Harvest jar. I guess maybe that explains it right there. So, I guess that's why I don't buy any Golden Harvest jars. I don't even know where that thing came from. Probably came as a gift in a gift of jam or something. Alright. Things that you can do. Spaghetti. You can dry can spaghetti, but you can also, to keep it fresh for a shorter period of time, you can certainly vacuum seal it. Matter of fact, I'll do another episode here coming up on everything that you can vacuum seal. Alright, so I hope you've enjoyed this episode on how to vacuum seal, the parts that you need to do it. And I think it was just God-given that this didn't work. I didn't even realize I was using a Golden Harvest lid and jar. I thought these were ball jars. I didn't even really pay attention. Not even sure where that even came from, to be honest with you. I haven't been using Golden Harvest jars in a very long time. But this will be fine. I'll put the screw band on that right there. And we'll just put those up in the cabinet. And we're going to eat these quick anyway. Those will go over here in the main cabinet. I hope this has helped you on your long-term food storage, okay? If you have any questions, be sure and leave a question or a comment below. If you like this video, be sure and share it. It really helps me out, and it helps me pay for the groceries so that I can bring all of these savings and all of this to you, to your computer screen. And if you have any comments or suggestions, I'd love to hear from how you do your long-term food storage. And this is how I do it, and it seems to be working for me for the last 9 years. I have not had an issue yet. And somebody asked me how often can I use these lids for vacuum sealing. You can use the lids over and over and over. Just be sure when you open the lid, try to open it like this with your thumbs so that you don't put some sharp marks on the lid, okay? That will help ensure that you haven't damaged any of the edge here so it seals. But if you have to use something like this, just barely apply pressure. Just, you'll hear it. You'll hear the, you'll feel it starting to give. Just don't tear it off like that. Just a little bit and then it'll come right off. Just get the air started and it'll pop itself off. That will keep the side of this right here from getting damaged and damaging any of this right here. I don't always use oxygen absorbers, only if I know that I'm going to have it in the cabinet for more than 6 months or over a year, or up to that 30-year time that I'm going for, 15 to 30-year time. Then I'll put an oxygen absorber in there. All right, and here we have it. All the cookies that I bought for under $9, except for the Girl Scout cookies. All in the half-gallon jugs. All that vacuum sealed and ready and fresh for me to eat like the day I opened the package. 15, 20, 25, 30 years from now. People swear up to 30 years. I can only testify to 9, but I'm sure I can push 15 now that I've opened up some 9-year-old jars. So, and this new way of vacuum sealing with the ball canning lids, that's definitely the way to go. It's so easy and convenient. And like I said, you can go on and spend about $40 to $45 maximum on a machine and all the parts you need to use these vacuum sealers just like this. All right? Just be sure and sterilize your jars so that way you can ensure safe food years down the road. This is Chef and Builder Janie Pendleton. Be sure and hit that subscribe button because we have more coming up. We're canning cream of celery soup tomorrow, and we're canning cream of mushroom soup. So this week. So you want to hit that subscribe button. We got some good things coming up. If you like this video, share it. Like it if it allows you to. We're having problems with that button on YouTube. And let me know in a comment below what you think and what you'd like to see more of. Blessings.